With the sun glistening on the snowy crest of the San Gabriel Mountains, one would perhaps think of alpine skiing. But this beautiful scene is just backdrop for the Los Angeles County Fairgrounds in Pomona on a cool and crisp February day, where a huge crowd is gathered for the traditional kickoff of the Major League drag racing season, the National Hot Rod Association Winternationals. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Economaki at this unique speed venue, where there are new faces, new cars, and new combinations for the 21st running of the Winternationals. With $435,000 posted, more than 500 contestants are taking part. All the big names are back, including 3 world champions, Raymond Beadle in Funny Car, Bob Glidden in Pro Stock, and our lady friend, Shirley Muldowney, who, after winning this event last year, went on to become the first person in National Hot Rod Association history to win 2 world championships in Top Fuel. But racing in the quarterfinals, Shirley in the far lane against Marvin Graham, her car reared up. Too much power to the rear wheels. It slammed back down on the track, bent the front end, and the defending champion was knocked out of the Winternationals early. It looked spectacular, Shirley. Why did it happen, and what did you do about it?
All right. The reason it happened is the car has a tremendous amount of horsepower, and it may have needed a little bit more weight on the front end, but it started to carry him about like what it did at Seattle last year, and I figured, that's fine, you know, I'll ride it out. Should set it down about 300-400 feet, but when I saw the sky, I said, that's too much.
With the 16 Top Fuel qualifiers having run their first round and quarterfinals, the semifinals set up. Dave Settles of Dallas, Texas, and Jeb Allen here. He's from Idaho, but now living in California. Allen in the far lane. Allen has done a lot of work on his car. He says his engine is the most powerful on the grounds. Settles, a former graduate of pro competition, is coming in on the near lane. The white box you see in the middle houses the timing lights and is the staging area. They're moving into that area right now. It's a crucial one for the start. And now Settles creeps his car up. If you go too far, you red light. Now he comes close to the yellow line. And the pre-stage lights go on. Now the staging lights are on. Both cars are ready, and they're off, and Settles grabs a quick lead over Allen in the near lane. But Allen applies the power and goes down the strip and stops the clock first to win the first semifinal with a clocking of 5.865 seconds, and the crowd is on its feet. Settles' speed at the end of the run of 242 was 4 miles an hour faster than Allen's 238. And that's an interesting aspect of drag racing. The times and speeds don't mean anything if you don't get there first. So Allen heads for the final. The second semifinal will pit Dallas gold dealer Richie Tharp against Marvin Graham. Tharp in the far lane is coming off a poor year. No wins, and the price of gold is going down. He says he's got to win today. Graham, a shaggy one from Alhambra, California, does most of the work on his own car. He's a scientist on that engine as they bring those long, leggy cars into the staging area. These engines develop 2,500 horsepower and get most all of it to the ground through those great big fat rear tires. Now they come to that crucial staging area. The pre-stage light is on for Graham, and now Tharp moves in last. A lot of drivers come in last. They feel it's a psychological advantage. Now the staging light goes on for Tharp, and Graham inches in. He's ready. They're waiting for the green. There it goes, and off they run. And Graham swivels, but then gets a hold of the ground and moves ahead to beat Tharp. And Graham, 5.967, goes to the final, a speed of 243 miles an hour. Tharp was a 6:03.1, 241 miles an hour, and so the field for the finals here at Pomona in Top Fuel is set. And it's a happy Marvin Graham crew that goes down the run. It'll be Jeb Allen versus Marvin Graham for the Top Fuel honors. Before the next event, let's take a look at how these cars are clocked. There are lights at each end of the drag strip, here at the start and a quarter mile down the road at the end. Here's the finish line light that records elapsed time, but before and after the finish line is a speed trap where top end speed is measured. That's where we get the big numbers. Great funny car action coming up. World champions Raymond Beadle against Don the Snake Perdum, and young Texan Billy Meyer against John Brute Force. We'll be back. Just 45 miles east of downtown Los Angeles, it's grazing land, next to the Los Angeles County Fairgrounds in Pomona, where once a year a 200-acre section of the paved parking lot is turned over to Major League drag racing. And now we have the classic funny car matchup, a semifinal pitting world champion Raymond Beadle in the Blue Max.
We always run the car just as hard as we have to win. We're going to race to win this time, too.
versus Don the Snake Purdom.
We've changed gear ratios, and we're really rolling the dice right now, as they say, and just going for the big number to try and put him away.
This is a classic matchup worthy of final round billing. Beadle, who set a new qualifying record here of 5.973 seconds, and also was under 6 seconds in his second round victory against Purdom, who was a 5-time Pomona winner. In 1975, 76, 77, and 78, Purdom was unbeatable here at Pomona. In 1965, Purdom's first victory here was in Top Fuel. On the other hand, Beadle, a 2-time world champion, has never tasted victory here at the Los Angeles County Fairgrounds, but his car's been exceptionally fast. They're in the line now, waiting. And Purdom babbles at the start as the Texan floorboards the Blue Max through the trap to stop the clocks, and still again under 6 seconds. 5.937 as Purdom coasts down the line. Past debris on the track. 245.23 miles an hour for the Blue Max, which apparently isn't... Oh, it's a convertible. The roof has come off. The windshield is missing. Raymond Beadle and the Blue Max crew are going to be faced with a monumental repair job to get that car ready for the final. And this graphically shows the forces that act on these cars at speeds approaching 250 miles an hour. The wind gets in, blows things right off. And in the next semifinal, pitting Billy Meyer against John Force, Meyer has had similar problems. His body cracked during the preliminary rounds, and he's worried about it collapsing. And then he blew an engine and had to make a hurried-up engine change to get ready for this next semifinal against brute force. I talked with his wife.
Yes.
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about hoping that he's ready and hoping that he's safe. This is kind of dangerous when you're in such a hurry, so the guys are good in there and they'll make it. They'll be good.
At moments like this, do you try to put the racing out of your mind?
No, because that's all you can think about. That's the thing at hand. You have to think about it, and you just hope that everything's all right. The main thing in my heart right now, my mind, is that he's safe, and I'd like for him to win too. Will you be glad when this day is done? Yes, if it ends the way we want it to, I'm always glad. But then if not, there's always another drag race. It's kind of exciting.
That engine Billy Meyer just changed is smoking rather badly, and it could mean trouble. I chatted with him as he came to the line. Billy, do you have anything left after this emotional interval between rounds?
Oh yeah, we're just getting ready again right now. That's our 4th motor, so it's we don't have much left in parts put together. We got a lot unput together in the trailer, but we just have to put them together again.
But you're breathing hard, you're gasping, and the race is about to begin.
That's all right. I can relax real quick.
So relaxed Billy Meyer is as he comes up against John Brute Force of Fullerton, California, a big man, and his funny car is vibrating at the sides as well. These funny cars are made to look like pleasure cars, but of course they're racing machines out and out with thin plastic bodies on them. Neither Meyer nor Force has ever won at Pomona, but Meyer did win one of the 10 national races last year. And it looks like Mr. Force was too anxious, and Meyer goes down. Yes, he knows it. He red-lighted. Meyer gets it at 6.355 or 181 miles an hour. A tough break for John Brute Force, a native Californian. Let's go back and have another look at that start. Now, the cars that are being staged right now, Force in the far lane, waiting for the light, and there he goes too fast and he red lights. That's a foul, an immediate disqualification, and Meyer moves to the final. The Texan coasts to a stop as a crew member lifts the one-piece plastic body, and what's on Billy Meyer's mind right now is before he goes up against Raymond Beadle in the final, of course, is his car. At speeds of up to 245 miles an hour, the aerodynamic forces on these plastic bodies are tremendous. Meyer had his crack during the preliminary rounds. He glued it together. He has no spare. But what of the Blue Max? The last time we saw that car, it was without a roof and a windshield and in rather tattered shape. Well, in the Blue Max pit, crews are hard at work. Kenny Bernstein, a fellow competitor who was eliminated in an earlier round, has volunteered one of his spare bodies to the Blue Max crew. They've brought it over to the Blue Max pit, and while they're sawing the top of the Blue Max off, this plastic body is being sawed off, the body from Bernstein's car is being tailored to fit. The question is of time, of safety, and will it pass inspection? We'll be back to find out. The scene is hectic in the Blue Max pit. Racing ingenuity, cutting up a tray to make reinforcing straps. Even Raymond Beadle is working. Raymond, will the car be as good being fixed this way as it would ordinarily?
Well, you know, if we had a little more time, we could fix it a lot better. I mean, if the car runs real fast again, it could possibly blow the roof off again, but I don't think so. I think we can get on there strong enough. But, you know, the car just run real fast, and it just right in the lights. I just fixed to get the parachute, and it blew the windshield out, and the roof come off.
How will you anchor the new roof on the old?
We'll just pop rivet it, and then we'll put some aluminum back behind it, and we're going to put a little bit of fiberglass on it. It'll set up pretty good. I think it'll be all right.
A confident man, Raymond Beadle. He usually does not work on the car, but the crew is working furiously on the car to get the body done. Then, of course, there's that engine work that has to be done, too. Kenny Bernstein, a key man in this repair job. Kenny, how come you're letting them saw up a perfectly good body?
He's a fellow Texan from Dallas, and we got to take care of each other. So we're taking my spare body that we carry in my trailer at all times for things like this, and we're going to take the roof off of this spare body, and we're going to put it on the Blue Max on top of their car so they can go win the race.
How about fastening it on? I see the windshield posts are cut. Will it be securely on it, Kenny?
Oh, yeah, they won't run it unless it's correct. They'll fiberglass it in and pop rivet it in. It'll be brand new. I'll tell you, it'll be a nice, pretty car, blue and red.
What's a body like this cost?
Oh, a body like this, about $7 grand we're going through right now.
Will you get a check for $7,000 tomorrow morning?
Oh, we'll worry about that tomorrow, Chris. Right now, we got to get in the winner's circle for these guys.
Just a few yards away in actual distance, but light years in concentration, is the Billy Meyer pit, where crewmen are doing routine work on the third engine of the day. This is the first interval in which this crew has not had to change engines, but yet they're doing the routine maintenance that takes place between every round. Billy Meyer, sitting on the edge of his truck, looks a lot more relaxed this time. Right. It's routine this time, Billy, right?
Yeah, a little more routine, just a normal thing. Just take all 8 pistons out, Chris, and put them back in and check it. We did have to change 2 heads this time, though, but that's a little out of the norm.
Are you aware of the problems Beadle has?
Oh, yeah, but it's. I'm sure they'll get it done. All those cars are basically identical, and with Kenny's help, relying them to use that Budweiser car, they'll be looking pretty good. I think that if they can get the fiberglass to set up good enough and get the pop rivets in there in the right places, they'll be there.
He's got 2 under 6-second runs today. Can you handle that?
I just hope he doesn't get his roof fixed.
As the work continues in the funny car pits, we turn our attention to Pro Stock, the finals, which match world champion Bob Glidden here in the left lane, a 5-time world title holder. A little the edge is taken off this event because Lee Shepard, his arch rival, red-lighted in the quarterfinals. Glidden will be going up against Pat Musey of Carteret, New Jersey, an occasional NHRA visitor and IHRA regular. It's going to be a Ford and Chevrolet battle. Glidden in a Ford, Musey in a Chevrolet. These cars are closer to stock than any we've seen on the strip today. They're waiting for the light. They inch into the staging area, and reaction time comes into play here now, waiting for the light again. And they're off, and it's Musey ahead of Glidden at the start. Musey, but Glidden stalked the power by, and it's Glidden with yet another Pomona victory. The Indiana man, Bob Glidden, does it again. 8.383 seconds, 161 miles an hour, and pro number 1 on the side of his car is an adequate description for this man who has pro stock category and drag racing mastered for so many years. The Blue Max has left its pit area, leaving only the topless body of Kenny Bernstein's car. But what about the quality of the repair work? This is Steve Gibbs, competition director of the National Hot Rod Association, who had the authority to either say yes or no on Raymond Beadle's repair job. Steve, is that repair job safe?
We feel it's safe. Our tech directors have looked at the car, and in their opinion, it is safe, and there's some good mechanics working on that car right now, and I think that the car is safe for this run, and we have all intention to let him run.
Is there any margin for error there?
I guess there's always a margin for an error, but those people have been racing for a lot of years, and our inspectors have been inspecting a lot of years, and at this point, we feel comfortable with the situation.
There's Beadle's car after a fast repair job, and it looks like Beadle's going to get his run. We'll be back later for the Funny Car and Top Fuel finals, but after this message, we'll be going to San Francisco for the Chinese acrobats of Canton. Chrissy Konamaki at Pomona, California for the running of the 21st Winternational Drag Races. The Funny Car final coming up, starring the Blue Max with Raymond Beadle at the wheel. The Blue Max lost its top in the semifinal, and a new one has been taped on, riveted on, glued on, and everyone wonders whether it will stay on. Here you can see the kind of work that was done by the crew to make the car ready for this dramatic final event. His rival in the near lane, Billy Meyer of Waco, Texas, who's had his trouble with engines all day long. Each man has had more than his share of car problems in coming to the line for this dramatic confrontation on this quarter-mile drag strip at the fairgrounds. There are 2,500 horsepower cars ready to go at the starting line. And Beetle sideways and comes back in line. A beautiful, masterly handling job by Beetle. He got his car straight, but he loses to Meyer. And Meyer wins the Winternational Funny Car Championship. 6.529 seconds, 206 miles an hour. And Beetle coast to a stop. His roof did stay on. His speed at the end of the run, 236, 30 miles an hour faster than Meyer, who stops his smoking car alongside. A dramatic finish to an exciting day for these two gentlemen. Meyer's engine in serious trouble there. The fans just love it. The crew comes down. They're going to have to fix that car, but they could care less. Hey, what a day. You won it, Billy. Congratulations.
An expensive win.
What's
Very
all that
expensive.
smoke about?
We killed that motor, too. It was on about 7 cylinders the whole time. I don't know what happened to him.
It wasn't a very straight line run for you, was it?
No, if he had had any luck at all, he should have been able to beat us. He ran very well all day.
Yeah. You're huffing and puffing, Billy.
I'm tired, Chris. That's 4 motors to do that.
4 motors, huh? What's that in dollars and cents, Billy?
More than we made. Just depends on how bad they are.
Top fuel time, Marvin Graham, transplanted to Oklahoma, now living in California in the near lane. Jeb Allen, brought up in Idaho in the far lane. Both these men work on their cars. Allen, however, says he's got some secrets in his engine that, when perfected, will give him 500 more horsepower than anyone else. If that's the case, Allen will have more than 3,000 horsepower under his right foot. They're on the line, waiting for the lights. Watch the lights. Straight line start, Graham at the moment at the start, but Allen, with more horsepower, pulls ahead, and clouds of smoke envelop both cars as they cross the finish line. And Jeb Allen, the red-bearded one from Idaho, comes home a winner in 5.923 seconds. A top-end speed, 229 miles an hour. Graham, 6.013. He was faster, and when you're hot, you're hot. Graham's terminal speed was 236 miles an hour. The alert safety crews get that flyer out in a hurry. And Allen's crew hurries down. They are happy. Hey, Jeb, how'd you beat Marvin?
Flat out run him, I think.
I mean, at the start, you pass him on the street.
We left, and I never seen him until I shut the car down.
I noticed you opened your parachute quite early.
That's because the car, there was so much oil going on the car. I was out of control down there that was going like this, and sometimes your life's a little more, means more to me than winning any drag race,
Heart pounding?
Darn right it is.
How you going to celebrate?
I'll probably just collapse here in a minute, but we're going to here comes my wife and everybody else, and my dad and mom drove in today for a surprise to me. I didn't even know they was going to be here from up north, so it really worked out to be good.
Okay, here's the man.
Congratulations.
Did you race, Marvin?
Yeah, it was close. We were there.
And it's a tight-knit family, the Allens. Wife Cindy is expecting. She's particularly happy. And here's the Bushy brother.
Congratulations. Thank you.
In sportsman classes, Scott Kendick won Super Gas, Bill Bushmaker Stock, Val Hedworth Super Stock, Mike Edwards Modified, Gary Pearman Competition, Brad Anderson Top Alcohol Funny Car, and Jerry Darien the Top Alcohol Dragster. And with thanks to Steve Earwood and the other fine officials of the National Hot Rod Association, this is Chrissy Kalamaki saying so long from Pomona, California.